Hello, this is Eric, and this is an introduction to a set of videos that I've put together on a Scarlet Runner Bean. I keep accidentally calling it Crimson Runner Bean, but it is Scarlet Runner Beans. And I've done a series of videos as we were going through the season on showing you how to build it and how it went for us. Unfortunately, I did lose the very last video where the thing was really full and producing tons of beans. But overall, it went pretty well. We produced a lot of beans, enough for many meals and enough for freezing. And we have a number of beans left over that we're going to plant this year. I'm going to do a project a little bit different this coming year, but I'll tell you about that at the end. Okay, this is the start of a video on our attempt at growing a Crimson Runner Bean Teepee. So, as you can see here, we've built a mostly circular set of tilled earth that we all hand-tilled it and left a grassy area in the middle. And over here we've got some poles that we're going to use, and we're going to use that to build the teepee. I did put that up previously to measure how big we should make the earth. So those will get put up, and I'll have another update in a couple days once the poles are up. Okay, step 2, runner bean teepee, and I figured I'd add a little more about the poles. Some of the other videos I saw said to get bamboo, and I couldn't find bamboo at the hardware store that I went to, so I got these poles. They're metal, covered with plastic. The ends are pointed a little bit, be pointed in the ground. When we first set this up, I assumed that there was going to be 6 inches or so of that in the ground, and at the top that we're going to lose about another 6 inches. So I figured that out when I was spreading it out and looking at the height. So time to begin. Okay, the basic teepee is up now. Each of the posts is pounded about 6 inches into the ground, and they're inset a little bit into the tilled earth. I didn't want them right near the edge. And at the moment, the top is just held together by some big rubber bands, and I need to get something stronger, maybe some clothesline rope or something, something that'll be very durable and strong on that one. Part of why I put them into the ground is that I want stability once this thing has the vines on it. If the wind comes along and takes it, I want it to have some good strength. Okay, so what we have here is a little bit of just nylon clothesline. I'm going to use that to tie the top together, and the other 2 rolls are green garden twine that we're going to use to make the string that goes all the way around the teepee. Now, one of the things we don't know, and by the way, there's Katrina, the one whose idea it was to make the Crimson Runner Bean Teepee. One of the things we don't know is how far apart to put the strings. None of the other videos really said much about that, so we're just going to guess, and at the end of the season you'll see how it goes. So here we have the garden twine almost completed on the teepee. Katrina's finishing up the last one right now, and I don't even know in this light if you can see that. There you go, you can see some of them in my shadow. The lines are anywhere from 6 to 10 inches apart depending on where you are, but we try to make it about 8 inches each. And again, we'll see how that goes. An interesting thing too about these metal poles versus the bamboo is that they have little ridges on them, so the string sticks, and the runner beans themselves should also be able to hold on to that as they grow. So here we are with the runner bean teepee. We have planted the seeds. We did this a couple days ago. Around the base of each pole, we planted 3 seeds. And the theory is that if 3 of them come up, we might have to cut out 1, because probably 2 is going to be enough to go up each of the poles. Now, an interesting thing about the Scarlet Runner Beans, we did actually find some seeds. It took a little bit of searching. They're not quite like green beans or yellow beans. They're more like a lima bean, so I don't know actually if the shell is edible or not, but at least the internal beans are. So we'll see what they're going to be like, you know, in salads or by themselves. Not really sure, but we'll find out. So here we are in the next installment on the Runner Bean Teepee. And Katrina just picked up the praying mantis. The crimson runner beans, unfortunately, only 3 of them came up. Most of them did not. Not really sure why. But what we did in the meantime is we found some other beans. Not really. They're runner beans, but not the crimson ones. So they'll be a little bit different. So we'll have to harvest them. But the blooms are a very nice color, and they were talking about that these might attract hummingbirds. Haven't seen any yet, but the bushes haven't gotten real big yet. So we'll see how it goes. We did plant other carrots in here as well, but none of them came up for some reason. Haven't figured that out yet either. So, but this is how the teepee is doing. We have 3 bean plants growing up and other new plants that have been planted. Okay. Here we are for our next installment, and you can see that the Scarlet Runner beans have gotten pretty big and they are blooming like crazy. We've already had 2 beans worth of meals out of it, and look in Katrina's hand, we've got a bunch more beans today, and there's probably more that we haven't picked yet. We do have the other beans that we planted later. They're coming up, but they haven't started blooming yet. But we've also seen a couple hummingbirds around, which is one of the things that supposedly happens with the Scarlet Runner beans and all the blooms. We have actually tried also to eat a few of the flowers, and they taste like beans. So, anything else you want to add, Katrina?
There's a lot more beans.
Okay, well, I'll help you in a minute. Okay, well, I hope you liked this, and I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please put them underneath the video. And I will also mention that this year we're going to do things a little different. Rather than make a teepee, we're going to try and make a tower. So we're going to have all the poles going straight up, and I've got some little pieces of wood that I'm going to use to hold them all in place. I think what's going to happen is it'll give the runner beans a lot more room this year, and we should get a lot more beans out of it, and should still look pretty cool for Katrina to be able to play in this year if she's not too old for that. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.